A monotone voice doesn't just sound boring, it reduces how intelligently you appear. Now, if you are still listening to this, then well done on you. Obviously, I am giving some dramatic effect, but quite honestly, it's not too far off the kinds of voices that I've heard sometimes in presentations. When we're tired, our voices can be monotone. Sometimes when we're just not that aware of the fact that our pitch is just staying the same all the way through, this can be the initiator of the audience simply switching off. And so this is all about how you can switch up your tone in order not for your message to get lost. Because what a pity that would be. You have the expertise, it can change and move your company forward. And if it's just your tone that's keeping it from doing that, then we need to sort that out. So let's think about this. You have done the work, you know the expertise, you have the authority in your field in order to give an answer or give a presentation that is compelling and that is going to move your company forward. You have what it takes. You have prime knowledge that needs to be shared. And so, what is getting in the way of that? Just a monotone voice. The problem is this: when you speak, everything sounds the same. Everything sounds the same. It's the same tone, it's the same energy, it's the same pitch. All of it is the same. And because all of it is the same, the audience doesn't know what to pay attention to. Now, your audience is not just listening to your words, they are also looking out, even though they're not intentionally doing so, they are also looking out for contrast. The auditory system is stimulated by that contrast, by what's loud, what's soft, what's high pitched, what's low pitched, what's fast, what's slow. All of these, your auditory system encodes. And so, if you are not doing this intentionally, then that's going to affect the content that the audience receives. Why is that? Because their brain is going to habituate to your voice, and then everything that your voice is saying in terms of words is going to get lost. Think of it like your voice actually becoming like background noise. Ouch, that's not what you want. But the good news is we just have to vary up the voice in order for the auditory system to be re-engaged. And we can do that in 3 simple steps. And when it becomes background noise, well, guess what? They naturally tune out. It takes enormous amounts of attention to then tune back in. And we don't want to have to cause them to make huge amounts of effort in order to listen to us. We want to make it as easy as possible. And if it hasn't been emphasized enough, here are 3 things that happen when your voice is too monotone for the audience to make any sense of. The first is they don't know what matters. If everything is the same, then you can't tell the wood from the trees. It's just a sea of greenness and brownness. They don't know what they're supposed to pay attention to and what they're not. And if nothing stands out, well, you can be sure that they are tuning out. The second is this, and maybe one that people tend to overlook. Think about a time that you were extremely excited about anything, or you felt any sense of conviction about anything. Well, I can pretty much guarantee that your voice didn't sound like this. There's a level of emphasis that comes with a change of tone. A change of tone also indicates a change of emotion, an increase in conviction. And conviction goes hand in hand with the kind of senior leader you want. You don't want to be led by someone who just doesn't know and doesn't really have conviction about anything, because that's just not the kind of person you want to follow. And so having a greater flexibility and greater variation in your intonation is going to signal seniority, but in a way that people so often overlook, but not you after this video. So, what I want you to do when you are giving an answer is think, when was the last time I felt conviction about something? conviction or passion or enthusiasm, and think about what your tone sounds like. I want you to think about a heated discussion you had with your partner, or something you said to your kid, like, go to bed. I can pretty much bet that your tone changed. Think about that instance when you are speaking. If you were sending your kid to bed in anger, then you probably don't want to take that tone. But what you do want to notice is how that intonation changed. There was a change in energy. That energy probably resulted in a change in pitch, a change in volume. All of these, the audience will take note of, and it will keep them from tuning out. Different situation, but same emphasis you are going for. So, number one, they can't tell what matters if everything is the same. Number two, it doesn't signal that you have any conviction. But number three is that it's so forgettable. What's the point in giving presentations where by the time you're done talking, they think, oh, what did he talk about again? You are expending all of this time, energy, effort to put together a presentation. And if they're not going to remember anything, then what's the point? If your tone alone signals I don't mind if you forget this, then what chance does that content have? If there's no contrast in your voice, then it increases the chance that your auditory brain just habituates. And it becomes, as I said before, like background noise. And if it becomes like background noise, what does that mean for your influence? It means it plummets. And that's not what you want. So now that we've considered all the reasons why you don't want to be monotone and forgettable, now we look at what we're going to do differently for your next presentation. And I'm going to give you just one thing to do. It's not a whole laundry list, just one. And this is put many stakes in the ground during your speech in order for your tone to vary. And the way you're going to do that is by giving headings to your sections. And it might go something like this. You've been asked to give an e-course in order to help people stop their computers from crashing. First thing you want them to do is to clear the cache. Then you want them to restart the computer and then to reopen the browser. And maybe before it sounded a little bit like, so in this course, I'm going to tell you how to avoid some of the crashes you have been experiencing. What I would recommend is that you go to this part of the screen and click here to close the cache, then shut your computer down, and then once it has restarted, reopen the browser. Okay, I don't need to tell you how hard that was to listen to, but now what you're going to do is put your stakes in the ground, and it's going to look something like this. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. Number one, the first thing you're going to do is clear the cache in your browser. Number two, the second thing is then to restart your computer. And number three, open that browser up again, and it should be running smoothly. Now, here's why this technique works. Because if you are currently not feeling like you want to have a whole host of vocal variation, then you can centralize your energy on the specific points you are making so that they act like peaks in interest at each point. And the audience also knows, okay, this is a part where I need to pay attention. He's made another point. Or this is another part where she wants us to draw our attention. She's made another point. When you do that, number one, number two, number three, or firstly, secondly, thirdly, or what's the problem? Now, what's the solution? Now, what's my recommendation? In this way, you intentionally direct the attention of the audience towards what you want them to pay attention to and focus on. This keeps the auditory brain from habituating and zoning out. So it's just one tip that you can use for them to get the most out of the gems of your expertise. Now, if you are interested in doing more of this, of learning more about how to let your expertise match your influence or let your influence match your expertise, then join the Technical Executive, where we look at exactly that. How you can answer questions on the spot, how you can give clearer presentations in order to have greater influence so that you can be promoted and have the senior positions that are indicative of the knowledge and expertise that you have worked so hard to acquire. I will see you in there. The link is below this video.